Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 7. This week, we are going to take a look at boys in the early childhood classroom. There's this old age adage that boys will be boys and girls will be girls. Think about that statement for a second. Did it ever occur to you that the only reason this statement may be true is because of the societal stereotypes that we adults place on gender roles for boys and girls? For the most part, boys and girls really don't necessarily fit those gender stereotypes. There are differences between the ways boys and girls learn and develop, sure, but those are just as diverse as child to child, regardless of gender. When thinking of the reasons why boys and girls really are off task in the classroom, we must first look at the structure of our classroom environment. Remember back to the development of the daily schedule you created. I asked you to work on creating a schedule that had a balance of active and restful periods. Often, when boys are off task, it's because they haven't had enough physical activity or enough of that physical interaction. And really, it's because they aren't interested in the classroom activities. And the same can be true for girls. We need to ask ourselves why this is. Boys enjoy hands-on sensory-related experimentation. When you are thinking of the behaviors you see in your classroom, regardless of gender, you may want to ask yourself if your activities are interesting and why children aren't engaged. On the screen, you'll see some ideas to make the environment encouraging and to be supported of both boys and girls' development. On pages 112 and 113 in your text, you got to read several of the considerations that teachers make about their classroom and why the most important thing to remember is that every class is different. While these considerations were successful for the teacher Juanita's classroom, you may find other ideas that work best for the children in your classroom or setting. For the most part, boys and really all children respond well when given the opportunity to explore educational ideas and concepts using their whole body and senses. Some research does suggest that boys especially benefit from gross motor and outdoor experiences that support their learning. Here's some other strategies to explore exploration and experimentation in the classroom. Creating daily opportunities for experimentation and exploration, the use of sensory materials, materials for mixing and experimenting, weekly cooking projects that involve mixing and measuring. It has been found that boys gravitate towards these types of learning opportunities listed on the slide. Block building, woodworking, art and writing, manipulative toys. These are all areas that should be part of every early childhood classroom environment, not just for boys, but for girls also. The ability to interact and be active with materials. In the past, block building, woodworking, and manipulative toys were reserved for boys, while girls gravitated toward activities like art and writing. Boys and girls gravitate towards certain activities sometimes because of societal expectations and sometimes because of the way their brains are wired. Having all activities equally encouraged for boys and girls really is empowering for all students. Planning an encouraging environment for boys helps to empower girls in the classroom to be more active and independent and encouraged. The encouraging classroom promotes engagement and reduces boredom and mistaken behavior. When boys show mistakes and behavior in the classroom, it's important to remember to diffuse the situation. Make sure that you calm everyone down and diagnose the conflict. Talk in private. Stay away from threats. Follow through. Use conflict mediation. Hold guidance talks like class meetings. Talk with boys about their emotions. This is incredibly important. In a society where we withhold emotions from boys, they need to know and learn that their emotions are fine and that they can express them in an appropriate manner. Teach boys to manage their impulses and also provide the same nurture to boys that you provide to girls. Thinking about male teachers and the guidance of boys, male teachers can be role models for boys to find alternatives to their mistaken behavior. Both men and women teachers must implement the use of guidance in their communication with boys and girls in their developmentally responsive classroom, or they will experience challenges regardless of the child's gender.